So, we've all heard the news. Juventus will not be in FIFA 20 due to an agreement which was reached with PES lately. So, PES tweeted this out saying they are incredibly honoured and excited to announce their exclusive partnership with the most successful club in Italy, Juventus. It brings 3D player scans, authentic kits, and their home iconic Allianz Stadium represented in the game. So what does this actually mean for FIFA 20 in terms of the Juventus players, kits, name, stadium and all that sort of stuff? Because as PES announced, they are actually the only game where you can use Juventus fully, and we've had this with this sponsorship deal with other teams. Obviously, Liverpool were fully licensed on PES for the past few years, but still they still had the full Liverpool license on FIFA, such as Anfield and the full kits and all that sort of stuff. But then again, they've also had the agreement with Barcelona over at PES, and that's why we haven't had the new camp on FIFA, and the same with Borussia Dortmund. Now, the Dortmund deal only lasted a year, so some are thinking maybe FIFA 20 we won't have Juventus, and FIFA 21 Juventus will be back. Although EA haven't said anything about the length of this, but they have addressed some of the issues on their website. EA did put on their website a statement saying that following a close relationship with Juventus Football Club, EA Sports can confirm that June 30th marked the end of its partnership. We'd like to thank Juventus, blah blah blah. And in another statement, they did address the issues of the name and the badge, etc. EA Sports have told us that Juventus will be renamed Piemonte Calcio. They will have a custom badge and a custom kit. Their players will use real-world authentic players in career mode and ultimate team, and the chemistry won't be affected. So your Ronaldo in ultimate team will still link to your Belotti the same way as it would in FIFA 19. And also, if you used Juventus in earlier FIFA games such as FIFA 19, they will still be fine. There's going to be no update to change Juventus to Piemonte Calcio. But it is a shame that we're not going to have the full licensing for the Italian champions, and I think the generic name and the custom kit never really looks good in a game, and EA are actually trying to advertise this as a new team, saying that they're going to be a new playable team. Like, this isn't exciting, EA. You've just lost the champions of Italy. This at least confirms that we aren't going to have generic players, meaning there won't be a Moses Bean or a Matthew Delight or a Christian Orlando in the game, which is something that a lot of people were taking to Twitter to talk about. Obviously, there could be they're just exaggerating. It's obviously a big thing to lose Juventus in the game, and last year Cristiano Ronaldo, of course, was the original cover star of FIFA 19, so does that mean he won't be the cover star of FIFA 20? Because they don't have any licensing, so their front cover is probably going to end up looking something like this. As you can see, it does have that generic Piemonte Calcio badge in the background and the generic kit on Ronaldo, so it would definitely be a poor look for EA Sports if this happened. Unfortunately though, this probably is the kind of generic kit that we can expect to see Juventus wearing next season in FIFA 20. Apparently this isn't even the first time that EA have lost the full licensing to a club, which I actually didn't know about until this week. So it turns out last season Boca Juniors were actually renamed Buenos Aires in FIFA 19, and they had a generic badge, kit and name. But I think the big difference with this is I never really noticed it. I'm sure there's a whole lot of people who didn't really notice it because it wasn't a big thing. Whereas now we're actually losing Juventus, who are probably still a popular career mode team, and you're gonna have a lot of Cristiano Ronaldo's on Ultimate Team, and he's just gonna have that generic badge on his card. I also think this is quite worrying for FIFA because they haven't just lost another small team, they've lost Juventus, the biggest team in Italy, the team with Cristiano Ronaldo, who was their cover star last year. Now, even though they did change that throughout the year to the likes of Neymar and Alex Morgan, you could probably see a different cover star next year, but it's still going to be disappointing. Maybe in Ultimate Team it won't be as big because you'll just see the badge on your card, but I mean, no one's going to be using that Piemonte Calcio badge on their Ultimate Team, I can imagine, and the kits I can imagine are going to look so generic. But I mean, the Juventus kits aren't really nice this year anyway, I have to say, but the home kit's definitely not up to standard, but I do think it would have been nicer to have than just a generic black and white striped kit, which is probably what it's going to be, most likely. So you have to think as well, EA obviously have this thought in the back of their mind that no one plays career mode, but there's still a lot of people who do, and for a start, Juventus career modes are going to be down the drain. No one wants to play with that PES-esque almost looking team, and no matter what team you choose, if you're ever in the Champions League, I imagine EA are going to keep the rights to the Champions League and Europa League next season. You're in the Champions League final and you come up against Juventus, it's just not gonna have that same feel to it when you're playing a Piemonte Calcio. It's just not gonna look quite as aesthetic as it would this year. So I reckon they're gonna be gone for at least a year. The badge, kits, and I imagine stadium won't be in the game. I'm hoping it's only a year. Personally, I find it kind of frustrating. Obviously, PES has many great things about the game, and especially their career mode, their manager mode, a lot better aesthetically than FIFA's, due to the fact they allow you to customise your manager, and you could spend hours if you were doing a career mode you're really going to get into. You could spend hours customising your manager, but if FIFA could take those things and put it into their game, there would be no competition. And I just wish there was this football game, like probably FIFA. If I had to pick one, I would pick FIFA over PES, and I wish they could just have one game with all the rights. I don't see why they can't share the rights. I think that would be very interesting if FIFA and PES both had the rights to every single team, club and country in the world, every single league, because then it would simply be down to what you put in your game. I think if PES have all the rights, FIFA have all the rights, and things are the way they are now, people are going to go to PES for career mode because FIFA offers so little. But there's also some things in career mode, like I do think some of the layouts are better, but it's definitely, I will be trying to avoid Juventus as much as I can, and it's the kind of game I'm gonna actually be tempted to sim next year. I don't really want any encounter with them because I have a feeling it's gonna look really bad and really out of place. They're gonna look like a Calcio B team because EA have none of the licenses for them. And again, it's not as if it's a team that doesn't matter. It's Juventus. They're probably in Sims gonna win Serie A every year, and I don't see if, going back to the Liverpool thing, PES had a full license with Liverpool, but FIFA still got Anfield and the badge and the kits, they still got everything because they had a full Premier League licence. So if they've got a full Serie A licence now, which we've seen this year because it's now Serie A, it's not Calcio A anymore, then why can't PES have the Juventus licence and FIFA still have a full Juventus on the game? Maybe without the stadium, I think that would be acceptable. There's a lot less people going to complain if you lose the stadium, but you've lost a full team here, which isn't good at all, and it's worrying for FIFA because back in the day PES was miles behind. PES couldn't have dreamed of getting these deals, and now I think they've certainly caught up to well, maybe not caught up, but they're definitely putting pressure on that wasn't always there. So it's worrying times for EA, and I think they need to start getting themselves together and realising there's another football game out there, and they can't just expect the millions of sales that they get, because before you know it, PES, they don't even have to get a full league. If PES keep Juventus next year and Barcelona, next thing they're coming for Real Madrid. They get the top 3 teams in Spain. If they get the top 2 or 3 in Italy, the top 2 or 3 in Germany, and even 2 or 3 out of England, it doesn't even have to be the full top 6. As soon as they do that, I think FIFA's in real trouble. As soon as they start to lose English teams, which could happen, then FIFA, I think a lot of people are going to stop buying it who thought they never would. So that's it. Pro Evolution Soccer have got Juventus. Juventus will not be in FIFA 20. Piemonte Calcio will. So have as much fun with that as you can, and I'll see you next time, guys. Cheers.